Channel found, archive unlocked. LKLM Season 2 coming through. Hidden clips, unheard shows, stories told nobody knows. This is LKLM 2.0.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Lesser Known Lost Media version 2.0. I am your host, Mr. Sean. Now, it's no secret that when a piece of media becomes lost, its content can become exaggerated, sensationalized. Take Crybaby Lane, for example, the show, the Nickelodeon movie that was said to be so horrific it was pulled. And the fact was, it just wasn't very good. And when somebody at Nickelodeon heard that the internet was clamoring for it, they brought it back. And what we had, and again, I watched Crybaby Lane when it first aired, and I was like, that was okay. I didn't know that people had been searching for it for so many years, but when we finally got to see it again, people are like, oh, well, that's not that impressive. In essence, sometimes the idea can become more powerful than the truth. This happens a lot when something from real life is turned into a creepypasta. And, while these horror stories are fantastic, we love them, I love them, you love them, sometimes I just want to know what the truth of the matter is, and that's what we're going to be exploring today. But before we do that, again, I just want to beseech you, this channel is trying to grow. We have reached some growing pains with that, and we've actually begun to shrink a little bit. And, so we were normally averaging roughly 30 new viewers a month. Well, now we're losing viewers left and right, and I'm having trouble figuring out exactly why. So I need you to comment. I need to know what you think of these videos. I need your support. If you like the video, click like, share with a friend, subscribe if you haven't already, and please do consider heading on over to eBay to look at my custom miniatures, as well as consider becoming a channel member or a Patreon patron. And with all that being said, let's begin. In the forests of northern Japan, on the edge of the marshlands of Fukushima Prefecture, there once stood a theme park. Some say it was cursed. Others say it vanished from maps, erased by a government cover-up after a string of deadly accidents. And if you believe the internet, it's one of the most haunted places in Japan. But today, we're peeling back the fog, both literal and digital, to uncover the truth about Takanuma, Greenland. Because the real story, it's not about ghosts or vanishings. It's about a small park, a local amusement park, and how its quiet history was lost in the roar of internet horror. Let's get this part out of the way. According to countless creepypasta posts, Takanuma, Greenland was a mysterious theme park that opened in the early 1970s. It shut down after multiple guest deaths. It was so cursed it was removed from satellite imagery and government records, and haunted by the ghost of a little girl in white. But here's the thing. None of that holds up. Because once you dig into the Japanese side of the story, into old brochures, tax records, company filings, and even nostalgic blog posts, you discover something far more interesting. The real story wasn't erased. It was just forgotten. A piece of local history buried beneath horror stories, games of internet telephone, and a healthy dose of fog. Takanuma, Greenland, originally opened in 1973 under the name Takanuma Family Park Company Limited in Date City, Fukushima Prefecture. It was built during the height of Japan's regional amusement park boom, when even small cities were trying to bring in tourism with roller coasters, petting zoos, and Showa-era family fun. Nestled between the Abukuma foothills and the Takako Marsh, the location was beautiful, if isolated, and like many of these parks, Takakanuma struggled to draw consistent crowds. By late 1974 or early 1975, the park had quietly closed. There are no confirmed records of any accidents, fatalities, or lawsuits. The most likely reason? Low attendance, poor planning, and early mechanical issues that couldn't be fixed with a small-town budget. But that short, quiet lifespan left just enough mystery for creepypasta creators to fill in the gaps. In April of 1982, the park reopened as Takakanuma Greenland Company Limited, this time under the backing of a larger Tokyo-based operator. It was eventually acquired by the KSC Company Limited in 1988, formerly known as Sagawa Raizo, a cold storage and logistics company. Their aim? To turn this into a proper regional destination. And honestly, it kind of worked. By the late 80s, Takakanuma Greenland was offering a full lineup of attractions. 2 roller coasters, the Adventure by the Maisho Amusement Machines, and the Bobster by Togo. A Ferris wheel, carousel, pirate ship, and spinning rides. A haunted house, arcade, and go-karts. Even a full insect museum, rabbit petting zoo, and ice skating rink. It may not have been flashy, but for local kids, it was a place of magic. I remember going as a child. The roller coasters were huge to me. I begged my mom to go again every summer.
The petting zoo was my favorite. I always went to see the rabbits. It wasn't big, but it felt like our park.
Despite the improvements, Takakanuma Greenland never grew beyond its regional appeal. By the late 90s, Japan was in an economic downturn. Competing with newer parks and aging infrastructure made survival difficult. In October of 1999, after 17 years in operation, the park quietly closed once again. No tragedy, no mysterious disappearances, just an old park running out of time. After its closure, the park sat abandoned. Over the next 6 to 7 years, trees reclaimed the land, moss crept over metal, the Ferris wheel stood rusted and still. And then the fog came. Fukushima's natural weather, cool mornings, and wetlands meant the area was often blanketed in thick, rolling fog. Perfect for eerie photos. Enter the Haikyo Explorers, Japan's urban exploration community, and with them, the bloggers, the ghost hunters, the internet. Around the mid-2000s, stories started appearing online, mostly in English, about a vanished Japanese theme park, shrouded in mist and mystery. They claimed the park had a hidden body count, that the rides turned on by themselves, satellite imagery blurred the site, and that the Ferris wheel housed a ghostly girl in white. But none of it checks out. There are no accident records, no news reports, no Japanese coverage of disappearances, and no official government action. So, why did the myth stick? Because it had all the right ingredients: eerie visuals, sparse documentation in English, a spooky name, and just enough real fog to blur the lines between truth and fiction. In the middle of all that myth, it's easy to forget the truth. Takakanuma Greenland was a real place, built by real people, and filled with real memories.
I went there with my cousins during Golden Week. We got soaked on the water ride. I remember drying off on the Ferris wheel.
It wasn't flashy, but it had charm. We didn't go for thrills. You went to spend time with family.
In 2006, demolition of the park began. By 2014, the land had been repurposed into a solar energy facility. The Ferris wheel came down, the tracks disappeared. All that remains are aerial photos of rows of solar panels. No bones, no shadows, just clean energy quietly humming on a hill where children once laughed. So, what's the takeaway here? Takakanuma Greenland wasn't haunted, it wasn't erased, and it certainly wasn't cursed. But in a way, it was lost. Lost beneath internet sensationalism, buried by creepy stories that were easier to believe than the quiet truth. Its real story became a kind of lost media. Not because it was destroyed, but because we stopped looking for it. Takakanuma Greenland, the real Takakanuma Greenland, mattered. Not because it scared us, but because it made people happy. For children who visited in the 80s and 90s, it was never a horror story. It was their childhood, their Saturday afternoon, their summer memory. And that's worth remembering, because sometimes the truth is more powerful than the myth, and sometimes it's even more magical. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video today. I was always fascinated by the creepypasta. I'm always a sucker for anything about abandoned amusement parks, real or otherwise, and I was very surprised to learn in my research that really the idea of Takakanuma Greenland being a haunted, abandoned theme park is something that seems to have been created entirely by Western audiences. It's not a Japanese urban legend. It was entirely one created by the American internet after seeing photos taken by Japanese urban explorers. So there was no real context there. It is very hard. I had to use some resources and translations. I hope I got the information right, as I do not speak or read Japanese, and there's just not much truth about this one on the English internet. I will be honest, when I first had the idea to research the history of Takakanuma Greenland, I was hoping that the Japanese internet would have additional information, because the creepypasta and the information about the creepypasta and its origins and its information about the park itself, again, even the horror story side, very sparse on the internet. The creepypasta itself is very short. It's more of a rumor than anything else. So I was hoping for more details, and what I found is that there were details, just not of the horror, but of the truth. And the truth is that this was a quaint little Japanese regional theme park that brought joy to many, but was destroyed not by ghosts or horror, but just simply the economy. I feel that, bro. Again, guys, thank you for coming to the channel today. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Big shout out to J-Dog. J-Dog, thank you so much for your continued patronage. If you would like to become a channel member or Patreon patron, links are in the description. You get access to member exclusive content, members first content. Depending on the tier, you can get your name in a scrolling thank you list at the end of every video. You can get a shout out during my lost media videos, like the one at the end of today. Again, that's the big shout out to J-Dog. J-Dog being my consistent Patreon patron. Thank you so much. I'm actually getting to see J-Dog right the day that I'm recording this. He's in town. He did move out of town, but he's back for a visit, so I'm excited to get to see him. J-Dog, when you're listening to this, know that while we have not hung out yet, I am almost 100% certain, let's go 99.99 repeating, that it's going to be great seeing you. So thank you. Glad you're in town, buddy. You can also support the channel by heading on over to eBay and checking out and purchasing one of my many customized miniatures, many more of those on the way. Also, check out drivethrurpg.com if you would like to see my collection, small collection so far, but more on the way, of Call of Cthulhu scenarios, and that's another way you can support the channel. Also, if you do make a purchase, do let me know. Let me know that you found my things via this channel. That's very good information to know. And again, guys, just thank you so much for coming to see me today, and I really hope you'll be back in the next video. So, until then, I'm Mr. Sean, this is Mr. Sean Productions, and I sincerely hope that you alpha great day and an even beta tomorrow. Bye-bye.